Good. Another great principle from here, from side control or escaping side control from the bottom. Raf's on side control top. He's got nice control. Framing of the hip, framing of the neck. Constant pressure on these frames. Definitely don't want to release the pressure and allow the person movement. Jiu-jitsu is about connection. If I've learned anything in the last 29 years of jiu-jitsu, is that connection is so valuable. And Raf having that connection benefits him, but on defense, the connection benefits me or the bottom person. So I like the connection in jiu-jitsu. So here's a great principle that I like to use from the bottom, very connected to Raf, trying to control him, not trying for him to control you, disallowing that weight to settle on your solar plexus, but to keep the frame up and your partner away from you. Now you're simply moving your hip out and back and forth. All I'm trying to do, or all the desire here, is to move Raf down slightly. And once you move Raf down slightly, you're taking this outside leg and crowning his head. So you're taking your foot and going right across the top of his head. You don't have to rip his neck back from here. It's not necessary. All you're trying to do, Raf's knee will be in and connected. So all you're really trying to do is push the person down in a way to take away that strength. In a previous video, or in a video, I spoke about moving the head out. When you wrap your leg around their head and pull them down, look at the space that's created. Now it's easy then to move the hip out and connect that bottom knee to the elbow, like we've been talking about for quite some time. So again, frames are here, frames are strong. You're moving your hip out and away, and you're trying to take your partner off center. So he's not setting solar plexus. If he's solar plexus to solar plexus from here, you'll be very challenged with this. If you can make frames and move him down slightly, 3 inches, foot goes over the head, barely touches the head, pulling his head down and move that hip out, elbow and knee come together, then you can continue foot up and open to face, or as I spoke of, trapping that arm and moving underneath him, which is a very common position in a Jean Jacques student's game. So again, frames on his neck, frames on his hip, a lot of pressure here at all times, disallowing him to settle the weight on me, moving the hip out, moving the hip out, moving the hip out. As the hip goes out to the left, that's the time that foot comes up and over, crowns head, pulls him down slightly. He's gonna move or he's not. There's the hip movement. Elbow and knee together, trapping that arm, moving the hip underneath him, or one of my preferences, foot up and over to the shoulder, and just continue to face to an open guard position. So again, a simple concept from side control when you're being defensive, to crown that head, to pull them off center, to make them move or to force movement of their own body, and then you have that free path. If they're centered on you, if they're square, if they're strong, if they're sitting still, it's very challenging to move them, but whether it's self-defense or jiu-jitsu, it doesn't matter, because a person who's sitting on you and holding you isn't hurting you, so there's no reason to be in a hurry, because there's nothing they're going to do to you anyway. So as they hold you, ultimately the next move will be theirs. And when they move, that creates opportunity. It is so important in jiu-jitsu to understand that their movement benefits you. Their movement benefits you. When you're in trouble and you move, you're going to go deeper in trouble. When you're in trouble and you hold still and allow them to move, then you have opportunity to escape. So keep those principles in mind, that their movement will always benefit your escape. That your movement, especially when in trouble, is only going to benefit their desire to go deeper into their offensive sets. Best of luck.